One topic that certainly hits home for a lot of us, particularly Malaysians, is employability after a particular age. Do you think one becomes unemployable after 40 or 50 years old? So I asked Deepa this very question because many seems to have this fear that after a certain age, they might not be employable. There might not be many job opportunities out there for them. So when they get a job, and if they are at that job after a particular age, they choose not to move on. Deepa shared a very interesting work practice that the Japanese have used. Not all, but some of them. So stick around and find out what this work technique is. It's an unspoken rule that after mid-40s, you are...
Ouch. Okay.
I'm not saying anything. After mid-40s, you're unemployable. Okay, this is not proven, but I think there's just this fear, there's some sort of understanding that, when you have a job after this age, you want to hold on to it because after that, you're not employable. And you're also closer to retirement, given if you're going to retire at 60, right? So let's go through the basics. Is this true?
I mean, I wish I could answer on behalf of everyone. Is there truth in it? Yes. Okay. Is it true for everything? No. But ageism or age bias works both ways. So I have to be open that I've seen ageism work towards us more seasoned people.
Okay,
right?
Sure.
That definitely works. But there's also ageism in reverse because, the leader, he's too young. How can he lead? Right? There's no experience.
Okay.
So it's finding that happy medium, and honestly, something that has worked really well has been things like reverse mentoring. Right? So if we talk about, is there truth in it? Of course, there is truth in it. It's not the truth, but there is truth in it. But if the 54-year-old is willing to be reverse mentored by someone who's 24, who's just new in the workforce, put aside your ego, make sure you're full of humility and be a sponge willing to learn and then absorb from them. And during that time, you can impart your wisdom and share the experiences of, you're teaching me this is how we used to do it.
Okay.
Because it's not about, listen to me and it's like, here's a true story.
Yeah.
It's about that exchange that becomes very healthy. So if you have an open mind, that's quite powerful.
You've met people who shared this fear?
Oh, yeah, of course. The fear of being redundant, being irrelevant, is very real.
Yeah.
I think especially whether it's corporate and that's something probably in smaller business has less fear of.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
but also with AI, I feel that fear is a little bit more pronounced.
Yeah. And again, with AI, it's also something that's more prevalent in the corporates because the smaller businesses thrive on that sort of personal relationship. I cannot imagine tomorrow going into a clinic in my neighborhood and a bot greeting me or a robot greeting me and telling I'm not ready for that. All right.
Yeah.
There's still that level, but if you go into a bank or you go into a, in a larger organization, you
it's
quite
changed, right?
It's
to
changed,
a machine, right?
So I think with AI, the advent of that's very real. The fear is very real.
Yeah.
And what people fear is not having a purpose. Right?
Meaning,
not having a purpose and meaning. That's what's fearful because while I'm employed, I'm contributing. And when I'm not employed, then, so it's just that some people's whole identity is enveloped in their work. So that becomes really difficult.
I would like to take a moment to talk about our episode sponsor, Giggles. Giggles is actually a cafe that is located at Taman Mega in Petaling Jaya. They have an amazing selection of coffee and a very good place for brunch, for breakfast and for lunch. From nasi lemak goreng ayam berempah to tuna brioche, from pineapple Yakult to a dirty latte, they have everything under the roof that'll make your tummy and taste buds impressed. If you are on the LDP and stuck in traffic, make sure you look up for Giggles because it is just around the corner and let your tummy be impressed.
I was going to say in Japan, there's some of the Japanese organizations that have something called a seat at the window. I don't know if you know this,
No.
this term.
Seat
And
at the window.
I just learnt about it. It was fantastic. It's retired colleagues who
Okay.
are still kept on payroll
Okay.
for maybe not the full salary,
Oh.
but just to prove their worth, and they're given a seat, not necessarily a fully working seat. They are just known as advisory basis individuals who get a seat at the window, and the younger employees can consult them on what happened in the past. You get postmortems, you get success stories,
Oh.
you get lessons learned.
Okay.
That legacy information remains. Now, not every company does it, but I learnt about this in few Japanese corporations
Oh,
and
okay.
some automobile as well. And I thought it was fascinating and so refreshing. Are we ready for that? Maybe not. But isn't that so nice to hear about such things happening as well?
But that will be costs, right? Because and then
Yes.
costs that you cannot measure because
Absolutely. But they are saying that the culture and the value of respect for the elders, number one, the ability for young people to see how the company treats people who have served the organization and therefore have done their part to the organization. They're treated with respect and not just, sort of
Yeah.
let out, is very meaningful. So you're right. It's an intangible sort of area of a benefit or a value that you can't quite measure.
Yeah.
But they feel that it's worth doing. I mean, that's why I guess it hasn't picked up everywhere. But
but I think there's so much of value in that because so when a new person now comes into the company, the organization doesn't have to worry about who is going to train,
That's right.
what is he going to pick up.
Yes.
Because you already have
That knowledge base sitting
Yeah.
in that person.
Correct.
And remember one more thing. This person is not the new employee supervisor. If I am a new employee, this person is low threat, high wisdom individual.
correct. It's just reference person.
Reference point. I go to
Right.
him or her and ask, because these are
Right,
people,
right,
we're not talking about somebody maybe who's, 20 years or 30 years past retirement, but
Sure.
definitely in the first 5 to 10 years, there's so much meaning and wisdom that they can impart.
I hope you had a great time meeting Deepa and learned so much on what she had to say about employability after a certain age. If you think Deepa George could be of value to you in the area of training, talent management, leadership, or coaching, be sure to look her up on LinkedIn and see how she could be of value to your business. I'm Josh G, and you're watching Unfiltered Business, where we talk about the real work in the world without the corporate filter.